Welcome back to the Style Showcase, and today we're going to talk about hand-stitched Adelaides. And what's interesting about these designs is that they are made with a very similar way of doing a reverse stitch in calf, but it's actually stitched that way without cutting the material. And so it really kind of bubbles up a certain way, provides an additional layer of texture to the shoe, and is just a cool way of being able to put a pattern into a shoe. Now you can do this with wingtips, with Adelaides, with a bunch of different styles, but these both happen to be examples in Adelaide. Now, Adelaide is really known because it's got the U-throat here. Now this one is flared out a little bit. This is a 3-eye Adelaide, so it is shorter than it is on some. It also doesn't have a complete cap. It only has the line here. And this is Hephaestus, and this is something that, you know, Lee, he really came up with this himself. Did a great job of coming up with, hey, let's do this differently. Now, there are no heel counters on this. What's interesting is that he actually took this and he did a little wrap on the back, which is also very cool. And then he combined it with a suicide sole, at least on mine, with a really nice fiddleback. But if you look at the waist here, you can see this is some really solid construction. Very, very tight on both sides. He's got it pegged, okay, which is another construction type. And just really interesting in the way, you know, Lee put it together. Now, when I look here, this is a St. Crispin's. Now, this is a Norvegese construction, so a little different. Okay? And, you know, they actually did the midsole stitch to the sole in contrasting thread, which is really cool. A little bit subtle, but it matches the linen thread that they used on the Norvegese. And then here on the toe cap, here they did straight, but they only did part of it. Here, they actually did kind of like a reverse peak, almost like a wing, but then straight, doesn't wing out over here at all. Then you throw it here with the regular 5-eye, and then heel counters, but again, heel counters purely sewn in. Now this is in Russian calf, so it has a very different look there. It also has a very aggressive last, which I chose from St. Crispin's, where here we have a more traditional last. And this is in a Horween hatch grain to provide just another level of texture. Now, both of these are heavy textures, and you have, you know, a beautiful shoe that has a plainness to it, so it really shows off the texture, but has these details built in that work really, really well with this. Now, if I were doing this in alligator, I think this would look kind of funny, because why would you want to have the compression when you have those big, beautiful scales? So it's a question of what you're looking for and how you want it to be. But just food for thought as you think about, you know, your MTO and what you'd like to build for your wardrobe. So this is the hand-stitched Adelaide. I hope you like it, and let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Thanks.